Assalamu alaikum.
Good evening,
Welcome,
Mr.
sir.
Good evening. Okay. Today, actually, we're going to continue the lessons of the grammar. This is also another kind of repetition for whatever we studied together in the basics. As you can find here, well, I'm going to talk about the run on. Also, the sentence of run on or the mistake or the error of run on comes a lot of time in the EST. But we don't notice it because we concentrate beyond the rule that is asking. What does it mean by run on? Actually, as you know, that run on, it's a kind of two independent clauses without any kind of punctuation between them. Or sometimes it's going to be in two independent clauses that they are connected by only a comma. In this case, we call it run on. And you have to change the punctuation just to be accepted according to the English. How? As we know that the two independent, these are wrongs. This is now the right. The two independent, they must be connected by comma, fanboys, comma, for, comma, and, comma, nor, comma, but, comma, or, comma, yet, comma, so, or semicolon, or full stop, or sometimes you can change one of the independent to be dependent. Change one of the independent to be dependent. So it's going to look like that. Dependent, comma, independent. Like while I was watching TV, the door bell rang. Or it can be independent, then dependent without any kind of punctuation. Except if this dependent is relative clause. Except if this dependent is relative clause and it's not essential. We put comma before it. So let's have some examples here. I took the SAT. There's a sentence, independent. Then he said, comma, and I scored a 36. Also independent. But connect here with comma and. Then he said, comma, and again, I applied to MIT, another independent. Then comma and I got in, independent. This also run-on sentence. Why? Because now we have four independent clauses, and from the second we start connecting it with comma and. This is wrong. We have to put the comma and at the end. So if you're gonna look here, this is wrong and this also wrong. Look here, independent, comma, independent, comma, independent, comma, independent. So this also is a run-on error. Why? As we said, the run-on is going to be 2 or 3 or 4 independent clauses come after each other without any kind of punctuation or with comma only, or sometimes comma and start to be repeated. Okay, we have another one. He was hungry, independent. He bought a Cheptol burrito. Another independent, only connected by a comma. Run on, run on. Okay, in these cases, mister, tell me how we can correct it in the test. As we said, you can put comma fanboys or semicolon or full stop or change one of the independent to be dependent. This is the first case. Use period or full stop. Easy. He was hungry, comma, he bought a burrito. Done. Independent, full stop, independent. This is right. Or you can use a conjunction. But before the conjunction, you have to use a comma. So, comma, fanboys. And the fanboys are down here, just to know them. Fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Like this now. He was hungry, comma, so now it's not run on. He bought a burrito. Or, as we said, you can, look here. This also is a kind of mistake. Sometimes we think that therefore is a subordinate conjunction. Therefore is not a subordinate conjunction. Subordinate conjunction like while, when, if, as, because, even if. Therefore is not. So is this a kind of run-on? Yes, it's run-on. How we can correct it? You're going to come here and change the comma to semicolon. Come here and change the comma to semicolon before therefore. So it's going to be he was hungry, semicolon, therefore he bought burrito. Sometimes we can correct it by using a semicolon. He was hungry, semicolon, he bought a burrito. Like here, semicolon before therefore. Can we use semicolon and? No, we can't use semicolon with fanboys, except in one case only, that you have commas inside commas. You remember this. So the main commas is going to be changed to semicolon. But here, it's only independent. So not many commas. Why you put semicolon after and, before and? You have to delete the semicolon and put comma, or delete the and. As we said, other time you can change one of the independent to be dependent, like this. Look here. Because he was hungry, comma, he bought a burrito. Now we change the first one to be dependent, subordinate. And the second one is independent. So as I mentioned up, it can be dependent, comma, independent, or independent, dependent. Okay. Sometimes you can use a relative clause. And in this case, as we said, also up. If it comes the second, because the relative clause is going to be dependent. If it's not essential, it's going to be preceded by a comma. Let's look at one here. The teacher yelled at Alicia. Independent. She had left her homework at home. Independent. Wrong, teacher. You have to change this. Whether you're going to write semicolon here, or comma fanboys, or full stop, or change one of these clauses to be dependent, like what he did for the second. The teacher yelled at Alicia, who had left her homework at home. You can delete the comma or leave the comma, but here he put the comma because it's not essential. Another example. The hackers copied the company's central databases. Independent. These contain sensitive data on customers. Another independent. What did he do? He changed the second to be subordinate clause using relative pronoun, which contain. Take care. The only one of the relative pronoun that will never come before it a comma is that. That no comma come before it. Okay. Can we make it a noun phrase? Can we make it a noun phrase? A noun phrase here, let's see together. It's actually sometimes the noun phrase, we call it a positive. Dr. Tamer, the EST instructor. So the EST instructor is a noun phrase for Dr. Tamer. Let's find here. Yesterday, Russia deployed troops on the border. Independent. This is a clear violation of the peace agreement. Independent. By a comma only, it's wrong. So what did he do? He's gonna make a kind of noun phrase. Let's find. He said, Russia deployed troops on the border. Okay. A clear violation of the peace agreement. So this is a kind of noun phrase or a positive for what happened when Russia deployed the troops on the border. Another one. The Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world. It attracts thousands of tourists each year. Hear what he said. The Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world, attracting. Modifier. Modifier come at the end, away. So we put comma. If you delete the comma, it's going to be wrong. This is what connected to the previous one. Another one. People named it inventor Nikola Tesla. Independent. The Tesla coil is used in radio transmitters and electrotherapy. Again, another independent with comma is wrong. So what he did, named after inventor Nikola Tesla, modifier. Modifier what? The coil. Modify the coil. This we took it in the modifier section. So named after inventor Nikola Tesla, the Tesla coil, so coil now is the main word, is used in radio transmitter and electrotherapy. He is reflecting on the meaning of life. Henry tried to find philosophical answers to life problem. Again, modifier, reflecting on the meaning of life. Who did that? Henry tried to find philosophical answer to life problem. So we have many things to correct the run-on. Another case, use and to join verbs. Sometimes we can do compound verbs. Sometimes we can do compound predicate or verbs. Like here, James turned up the music. Independent. He danced like there was no tomorrow. Independent. Wrong with a comma only. So what he did, he found that he is the same like James. So what he did, he delete he and make like this. James turned up the music and danced like there was no tomorrow. So now turn and dance, we call it compound verbs. Let's revise whatever we did right now for correcting. Run on. You should memorize the list of conjunction independent. It will help immensely on the SAT independent. We can't miss it because there is a comma between them. So what you're going to do, you can put comma fanboys, comma 4, or you can put semicolon, or you can put full stop and make the capital letter for the second sentence. Or you can change one of them to be dependent. So this start to be dependent now because another one. I love the game of baseball, independent. However, is not a conjunctive adverb. So forget about that. It's going to be a subordinate. This is not a subordinate clause. So however, it's a start of sentence. However, I don't play it myself. So independent, independent. What you're going to do, you put comma but, comma fanboys, or put semicolon before however, or you can put full stop before however, or you can change the sentence to be dependent. He put even though. So he just tell us how he changed one of the independent to be dependent. However, he deleted and put even though. Another example. Nightmares keep me awake at night. Semicolon yet. How? How semicolon fanboys is wrong? Comma fanboys. So you can change it by putting semicolon only, or comma fanboys, comma yet, or change one of the sentence to be dependent. He put here although. Another one. One of my idols is Michael Jackson. Independent. He was one of the best performers of his time. Independent. Wrong by comma. What did he do? He changed one of them to be dependent by putting a relative pronoun he, who. Or he put a kind of naming or noun phrase. One of my idols is Michael Jackson, one of the best performers of his time. This is a positive for Michael Jackson. Noun phrase. Look here, also another mistake. When I try to go to sleep, okay, teacher, just wait, this dependent. This dependent. Nightmares keep me awake at night. This independent. After brushing my teeth, no, this is a modifier, no subject and verb. I audibly feel energized in the morning. There's another independent. There is a problem. Here, I don't have problem. Dependent, comma, independent. But the problem here, let's find. So when I try to go to sleep, okay, there's a dependent. Nightmares keep me awake at night. There's the independent. Then he put, comma, fanboys. After brushing my teeth, I audibly feel energized in the morning. Comma, fanboys. Comma alone is wrong. Can put comma, fanboys, semicolon, full stop. Like here. He put semicolon. Some people are going to tell me after brushing my teeth, teacher is a modifier. Why you put before it? Because actually the whole sentence starts from here. The second sentence. After brushing my teeth, what happened? Who's brushing his teeth? I. Okay. Let's go to the exercises. Here, identify whether the sentence is a run-on. Some may be correct. And if so, where it occurred, the first one is done for you. The first one is answered here. It's answered or not? No, I think. Okay.
No, it is wrong.
Yes.
Number one is wrong.
Okay. Let's start with Marsha Ziad.
A caller from the Memorial Park reported a man beating his head against the wall. He was heading toward. We can put a semicolon.
Okay. You can change the comma
So it
to
becomes
semicolon. Actually, you put an arrow. Okay. So because of that, he told us that there is a problem. Okay. We're not going to correct it. Only we're going to say that it's run on or not. Okay.
okay.
Run on or not.
So
And
that's
it's run on. Tell me
so
where is the
that's
mistake. Where is the mistake exactly?
Oh.
Okay. Thank you, Marsha Ziad. You can solve number 2 now because actually this was solved.
no problem. A completely naked, long-haired brunette in her 20s was pumping gas into a Hummer on the corner of Beachmont. No one got a good look at the vehicle's license plate. It's here between Beachmont and no one.
Excellent. The problem is here. The
There are
problem is here.
two
It's run on.
independent clauses.
Yes. Excellent. Pilot Kareem, number 3. Is it run on or not?
In New York, the train system is difficult to learn. However, the food is fantastic and diverse. I think the mistake here is however, right?
Before, however, is that right?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
no problem.
Engineer Taha.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, your phone is working. Number 4.
When a man became so upset with the lack of parking enforcement in his town, he reported his own parking violation, and the police showed up to subdue him with a stun gun. Apparently, he became combative and screamed at the officers that they weren't doing their job.
Is the run on here? Error? Engineer Taha. Is it a run on sentence?
One second.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Why? Let's analyze it. When a man became so upset with the lack of parking enforcement in his town, this dependent.
Yes.
Then comma is right, then the independent. This is right. Let's continue. He reported his own park violation. And the police showed up to subdue him with a stun gun. So this also independent, but it's right because there is and.
Yes.
But here, apparently, he became combative and screamed at the officer that they weren't doing their job. So there is a problem here because this is independent. Clear?
Yes, yes.
So the problem is here. So it's run on also. Thank you, Engineer Taha. Engineer Zaina. Number 5.
There is a big chance that if you're 16 or older, you've already met the person you'll marry.
Is there run on or it's correct?
It's correct.
Excellent. As you can find, there is a big chance that if you are 16 older, here we have independent, dependent, then independent. Yes, right, because we have dependent and independent. Between them a comma. Okay, number 6, Marsha Ziad.
Wanting to be sure that what had been sold was real wheat, Philip Donahue approached 2 officers and asked them to test his pipe. As a result, he was arrested and charged with drug possession. So the problem is before as a result.
Excellent. Perfect. Here, Because this actually independent, and before it independent. What
It
about
should have been a
wanting to be sure that what he
it should
had
have
been
been a
sold was
semicolon.
real? There's a modifier that described Philip. Thank you much, Ziad. Pilot Kareem.
Okay, Jimmy hid in the dumpster when Mr. Trump, his boss, walked by. Unfortunately, Mr. Trump had to throw something away and saw him crouching there, forcing Jimmy to confess that he actually lived there. So I think the mistakes are his boss and the comments between his boss walked by and unfortunately.
Again, so here or here? Or here?
Before unfortunately.
Excellent. It's here. The mistake is here. Why? He said
Because
Jimmy hid in the dumpster when? Okay, this independent. When Mr. Trump, his boss, walked by, this is dependent. Then we have another independent. So we have to put here comma van boy, semicolon, or full stop. Thank
Okay.
you. Number 8, Engineer Taha.
Zoe likes to ace her tests but resents it when her classmates ask her how much she studied. Sometimes Zoe will just say that she didn't study at all when in fact she had stayed up.
Is it run on or not?
Yes, Ronan.
Okay. Where is the mistake?
Before sometimes.
Excellent. Perfect. Yes, these are my men. Okay, number 9, Engineer Zena.
At the time, discovering quantum physics looked like a waste of time and money, but it is now the foundation of all modern technology. Thus, when people claim that math and science are of no relevance, it drives Dr. Tyson into a deep rage. There is a run-on sentence. We
Where is
should
the mistake?
in after modern technology.
Excellent. Perfect.
Full stop.
Perfect. Okay, number 10, Marshall Ziad.
Playing them day and night, Sean and his video games were inseparable. However, once he got a girlfriend, everything changed. So the problem is before, however. It should have been a semicolon.
Perfect. Perfect. Number 11, Pilot Kareem.
Okay, despite his friend's tearful pleas for the forgiveness, Jonathan maintained a deep grudge against everyone who had ever asked for a pencil and never returned it, an act he considered a crime against humanity. Okay, 1 second.
Analyze it slowly and
Okay.
find, is it a run-on or it's correct?
I think it's correct.
Yes, it's correct.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you why. If you're gonna look here, despite his friend's tearful pleas for forgiveness, this is a modifier. Johnson maintained a deep grudge against everyone, this independent, who had ever asked for a pencil and never returned it. This is dependent. Then here, an act he considered a crime against. This is a noun phrase. So it's correct. Thank you, Kareem.
Right.
Number
Mhm.
12, Engineer Taha.
Suddenly realizing the movie was too scary for her, Maya panicked and looked at her watch. There was still 20 minutes left, enough time to still make her uneasy about what was to come.
Is it run on?
Yes,
Where is the mistake?
before there.
Excellent. Bravo. Okay, number 13, Engineer Zena.
The salesman, aware that he was going to lose a sale if he didn't make something up, claimed that the laptop could not be customizable and that the only options were in the store. I think it's correct.
Perfect. Perfect. If you're gonna look here also to analyze it, the salesman, then here it's a noun phrase. So a salesman claimed that the laptop couldn't be customizable and that the only option were in the store. No mistakes. It's only one sentence. Number 14. Marsha Ziad.
Okay. As a young girl, Lindsay was praised as a talented and going actress. As an adult, she fell into the dark world of anyways, drugs and alcohol and would never reclaim her former glory. So the mistake is before as an adult.
Excellent. Perfect. So run on, and the mistake is here because we have independent, then another independent. Forget about as a young girl because this is a modifier. And as an adult, it's also a modifier, prepositional phrase. Thank you. Marsha Ziad. Pilot Kareem, 15.
Okay, omega-3 fish oil provides essential fatty acids for your nutritional health. Furthermore, it soothes back pain and muscle aches. Now, I think the mistake is after furthermore,
After or
right?
before?
No, 1 second. No, before.
Before. Because furthermore with this one, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Perfect.
Mhm.
Engineer Taha, the last question.
Last Saturday, Peter Parker was bit by a spider. After that incident, he would never be the same. I think it's Ronan
Okay. Where's the mistake?
before after.
Excellent. So last Saturday is an adverb. After the incident is a preposition phrase. So the problem is here. It must be full stop, semicolon, or comma fanboys. Okay. Now we return back to the original question that we are taking in the EST, the multiple choice. You're not going to have like this, but I just make it harder than easier now. Also, we are talking about run on. So whatever you're going to come right now, run on. In the test, you're not going to be known that this is run on. You're not going to have a title. You're going to have run on with a modifier, with the agreement, with the writing, with whatever. Now I want you, I send the file to the group. Solve right now from 1 till, okay, solve from 1 till, let me see how many questions. Okay, from 1 till 16. And write them on the chat box. Here, from 1 till 16. Then I'm going to explain it. If we have mistakes, but I wish that we're not going to have any mistakes. From 1 till 16. Exercise 2, from page 7. Write on the chat box, please. Marshall Ziad. Number 1 right, number 2 right, number 3 right, number 4 right, number 5 right, number 6 right, number 7 right, number 8 right, number 9 right, number 10 right, 11 right, 12 right, 13 right, 14 right, 15 right, 16 right. Perfect, Marshall Ziad. Zena, first one right, second one right, third one right, fourth right, fifth right, sixth right, seven right, eight right, nine right, 10 right, 11 wrong, Zena. 12 right, 13 right, 14 right, 15 right, 16 right. Only have one mistake, Zena. Number 11. Pilot Kareem, first one right. Second one wrong, Pilot Kareem. Third one right. Fourth right. Fifth right. Sixth wrong, Pilot Kareem. So till now, 2 and 6. 7 right. 8 right. 9 right. 10 right. 11 wrong. 3 mistakes. 11 wrong. 12 right. 13 right. 14 wrong. 15 wrong. 16 right. Waiting for engineer Taha. No problem, Pilot Kareem. No problem. We're gonna learn now. We need to know just what are the mistakes that we did. Engineer Taha, in which question are you? Engineer Taha? Hello.
I'm copying the answer.
Okay. Engineer Taha, are you still writing? Engineer Taha? Okay. Engineer Taha, the first one wrong, the second wrong, the third right, the fourth right, the fifth right, sixth right, seventh wrong, 8 right, 9 right, 10 right, 11 wrong, 12 right, 13 right, 14 right, 15 wrong, 16 right. Okay, let's have a look at your answers and why you got mistakes. What is the problem in these things? Let's look at the first one. As you can find here, he told us, despite the cracks in the kitchen wall and the leaky something, faucet, then here we have semicolon, the apartment, take care that the first part actually is a kind of prepositional phrase. So how you're going to put a semicolon after? How you're going to put a semicolon after? This a prepositional phrase, no subject and verb. So how you're going to put a semicolon? No, I'm not going to put a semicolon. Are you going to leave it without anything? No. Are you going to put a comma? Yes. Why you don't put comma conjunction again? Because semicolon and comma conjunction are the same function between two independent clauses. But this is a prepositional phrase, act as a modifier. The second one. The waiter tried to sell the most expensive bottle of wine to the young diners. Okay, this now independent. This now independent. All of them decided that it wasn't worth it. Again, independent. And here dependent, but I don't care. We have two independent, so it's wrong. It's wrong to use them with only a comma. So A is wrong. Can I say all of the diners? The same problem. You make it two independent. Can I say all of whom? Yes. Now you change this to be dependent. If you're going to put all of whom. What about if we underline this? It's going to be the same problem. All decided is going to be a kind of two independent, connect only by a comma. So the answer is going to be C. Number 3. The letter, okay, I need the verb. Here the verb. So the letter, which declared a revolution, comma. This is dependent with a relative clause. And this is independent. That had the letter was drafted by the leader of the rebel. It was typed up by his brother. Oh my God, there's another independent. So how you're going to connect it by only a comma? It's wrong. So A is wrong. If we're going to say rebels, then typed up by his brother is not going to work. It's not going to work. I know that you're going to tell me this is a noun phrase. No, it's not going to be a noun phrase. Can I say rebels and typed? Yes, like that is going to be a compound verb. The first one is was drafted. The second one, typed. Was drafted and was typed. So it's better. Can I put semicolon and? No, it's wrong. Number 4. Because malaria. This is a noun phrase. A disease transmitted by mosquitoes. There's a noun phrase to describe malaria. Now we need to find where is the rest of malaria. Because malaria can be fatal. So this dependent. So why? Why you write so? Why? It's dependent, then independent, without any conjunction. Only the comma. So without any conjunction, so we don't need A because it's a conjunction. So, and B because it's a conjunction, and but because it's a conjunction. We need only the comma. So delete the underline. After that, when the school board wanted to cut spending in half, When the school board wanted to cut spending in half. Okay, this is dependent. And then he bring which the teacher complained that they already didn't have enough textbooks to go around. Another dependent. How we put two dependent together? How we put two dependent together? So because of that, we don't need a dependent. So delete this. Can I put dependent semicolon independent? No, because the semicolon is going to be used by two independent. Can I use dependent, comma, independent? Yes. Why it's going to be independent? Because you are going to delete which. So like that is going to be independent. So it can work. Can I put colon? No, because this is no explanation. This is a dependent and it needs another independent just to be understandable. Number 6. Jack bought the used car knowing that he would have to fix it up. Okay, independent. And it has dependent. Then another independent. Then another independent. Can we put here the semicolon? Yes, because dependent, independent, dependent, independent. So the semicolon can work. Can we put semicolon and fanboys? No. Can we put comma only? No, because we have two independent. Can we put comma dependent? No, we don't need it because it will be missing meaning. Number 7. Fans stood in a long line that stretched down and around the block. Again, we have here fans stood in a long line that stretch. I need now a verb for this one if you're going to keep it like this. They were waiting for the box office. As you can find, this I'm not going to accept it. Why? Because here only comma. It's run on. What do you think if it said and alone? Again, it's a problem. Like you're going to say block and waiting. Okay, where is the verb here that has ing? Just write waiting. Can we say block, semicolon, while? Again, it's going to be two dependent clauses after each other. The straight down and round the block, and the other one, while waiting on the box. Okay, but while teacher can be a can be now a modifier because while waiting. While waiting. So who is while waiting? No. Because like that, you have to put a comma before while, not semicolon. So the best answer is going to be block. And we're going to consider waiting for the box office to open is going to be a modifier. Number 8. Doctor must adhere to best practices and obey certain hospital guidelines. Independent. They limit the amount of medication that can be prescribed to patient. I have independent and dependent, but I have two independent after each other with only a comma. So it's wrong. Can I change this? We write which limit? Yes. So now it's going to be like independent, dependent. It's going to be better. Can we write and, comma and? But take care. Why comma and? Here limit is a verb. Limit is a verb. So we can't put comma and. Because we have and obey. So here we can't put and the verb. Delete the underline also is going to be wrong because how it's going to start with a verb only. Number 9. The manager debated the issue with the employee to get their feedback. Independent. Even though they had already made their decision. Okay, mister. Even though it's a subordinate conjunction. So how you put semicolon before it? Now this independent and because of even though, this dependent. So A is wrong. What about B? Independent, comma, dependent. It will work only if this is not essential. No, this is essential. Semicolon, conjunction. It can be. The best thing is going to be without any punctuation. Number 10. Most mixed material art fighter today practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Okay, this independent. This is a brutal form of material arts that focuses on grappling. Another independent, only connected by a comma, it's wrong. Comma being, okay, we can say comma being because this is going to be modifier. But it's going to be being a brutal form of material art that focuses on grappling. Yes, he talked about jiu-jitsu. So why you put comma? No, it's not needed comma. So this is wrong because of the comma. Jitsu and semicolon. And then we said the brutal. This is going to be now a noun phrase because we're going to delete all of this. This is going to be a noun phrase. It's wrong also to put semicolon. So it's better to put a comma and make this a noun phrase. What is jiu-jitsu? A brutal form of material arts that focuses on grappling. Number 11. SAT scores are extremely important, independent. Full stop. They are only one part of the application. Again, independent. However, wait. We know the case of the however. We can't put it like this because after it is going to be another independent. So independent, comma, independent. Let's look at it. However, grades and teacher recommendation are other factors that college take into point. No. Independent, semicolon, independent. Independent, comma, fanboys, independent. Independent, full stop, independent. So let's find A is wrong. B, without anything run on. Can be full stop. It can be. Take care. It can be. So number 11 can work like that. But the problem that, however, is it with the first or the second? Because also D can work. B, C, and D can work. But we need to know, however, with which one? With the one before or after? Let's read it. They are only one part of application. However, grades and teacher recommendation are other. No. However, is with this one, with the first sentence, not with the second. The second sentence said grades and teacher recommendation are other factors that college take into account. So the answer is going to be D. Number 12. Although dependent. When you start with although dependent. Although buyers are aware of their decision and the marketing that plays into them. However, again, but take care. Here we have dependent. Here we have dependent. And now this is going to be independent. So we don't need semicolon because dependent, comma, independent. Where is it? Here. Number 13. It's praised as terrain to greatest accomplishment. This is independent. The movie Pulp Fiction interlaces several stories of seemingly unrelated incidents. Also independent. By a comma, but the problem is here. You want to change this now to be a modifier, to be a noun phrase. So A is wrong. B, praised as a modifier now. So praised as terrain to greatest accomplishment, which is praised the movie. Yes, it can work. This also is going to be a full sentence, independent. No, this also independent. So no. Number 14. Environmentalists have worked hard to rid the river of toxic chemicals. Independent. Then, comma, fanboys, the population of fish still hasn't recovered to previous levels. Okay, no problem. Independent, comma, fanboys, independent. So this is right. 15. The movie theater provide large theater seats with slots for popcorn and drinks. Independent. Furthermore, again, you have to put here, if this is a complete sentence, the screen was crystal clear to make for a great 3D view experience. So you have to put here semicolon or full stop or comma fanboys or to change one of them to be dependent. Okay, do we have something like that? Yes, we have it in B. (16) As a doctor, prepositional phrase. Bailey consults with patients about their condition. Independent. He recommends a course of action to correct them. Independent. We can't put a comma between them. It must be semicolon or full stop or comma fanboys or change one to be dependent. So do we have another one from here? Yes. Just wait. No, this wrong. This one. This is not gonna work because it's gonna be run on. Here now, he make it compound verb. So consults and recommends. It can work. Okay, can we use this? Which he recommends. It can work, but let's read it. As a doctor, Bailey consult with patient about their conditions, which he return back to the conditions and take care that which and who come after them the verb, not the pronoun. The problem here is this one. Come after them, whether which or who, because they are act as a subject, come after them the verb. Okay, guys. Another one. Sold from 1 till 13. From 1 till 13. March Ziad, number 1 right, number 2 right, number 3 right, number 4 right, number 5 right, number 6 right, number 7 right, number 8 right, number 9 right, number 10 right, number 11 right, number 12 right, number 13 right. Perfect, March Ziad. Engineer Zena, 1 right, 2 right, 3 right, 4 right, 5 right, 6 right, 7 right, 8 right, 9 right, 10 wrong. Engineer Zena. 11 right, 12 right, 13 right. Only one mistake, Engineer Zena. Waiting for the rest. Engineer Taha, 1 right, 2 right, 3 right, 4 wrong. Engineer Taha. 5 right, 6 wrong, 7 wrong, 8 wrong, 9 wrong, 10 wrong, 11 wrong, 12 wrong, 13 wrong. The last part, what happened, Engineer Taha? Start from number 6. You got most of them wrong. Waiting for Pilot Kareem. Pilot Kareem, did you finish yourself? Pilot Kareem? Okay. So Pilot Kareem, number 1 right, number 2 right, number 3 right, number 4 wrong, number 5 right, number 6 right, number 7 right, number 8 right, number 9 right, number 10 right, number 11 right, number 12 right, number 13 right. Only one mistake, Pilot Kareem. Okay, let's find the answer. Engineer Taha, concentrate, please, because the test is going to be look like that, but we're not going to have too many questions of this. We just here specialize in certain rules. Okay. The first one, as we know that we're going to look at the sentence, he said, we didn't have his determination and tenacity. Our great country would not be the same as it today. As you can find here, I have independent. Then the second part, independent. Connect only by a comma. So A is wrong. A is wrong. If I write without, we said without his determination and tenacity, yes, like that is going to be a prepositional phrase. And it can work now. We're not going to have two independent clauses. We're going to have only prepositional phrase then independent clause, so it can work. We lagged is gonna be the same problem. Two independent clause connect only by a comma. What about if we said because the determination intensity is gonna work, but because Mr. is not a preposition to put it here, because it must come after it, subject verb, and like that is not gonna have subject verb, so D is wrong. Number 2, born in Scotland in January 11, 1805. Okay, who was born? John, so act as a modifier. John immigrated to the new country with his parents at a very young age. Yes, it works. It works. Born in Scotland, January 11, 1815. Modify John. It works. So it can be A. Can we say he was born, semicolon, in Scotland in January? Why? He was born in Scotland, January 11, 18, John in May. No. It's not going to work. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Why you put semicolon here? We don't know. You're going to make now independent, then another independent. No, but it's better to just make it as a modifier. Can we say he was born? The same mistake. The same mistake. Because it's going to be two independent clause without conjunction. Born alone with a comma is going to be a problem. Because born in Scotland is connected to each other. Number 3. He soon began working under a local lawyer in Kingston. Independent. Independent. His mentor died before he could complete his apprenticeship. Another independent. Also connect by a comma. Connect by a comma. So it's wrong. So it's wrong. So A is wrong. Okay, if we put comma, however, the same problem. Semicolon conjunction is the same problem. So the best thing is comma conjunction, comma fanboys. Number 4, from the beginning of the sentence. Young MacDonald was not quite old enough to take over the practice. Independent. However, okay, done. The main thing that if we have before and after, however, you have to decide, however, with this or with this. So number 4 is wrong because it's going to be run on sentence. Number B, letter B, also wrong because it's going to be comma. You want to put here like what? Over the practice, comma, so this couldn't. So can work, comma conjunction. It can work, but the meaning will not give me because however, for contradiction, not for cause and effect in transitional. What about C? So this grammatically right, but meaning wrong. What about C? Yes, C can work, semicolon, however. What about D? Is going to be run on sentence again. Number 5. He had several high-profile cases. Independent. John quickly became a prominent figure in legal venue. Independent. So again, you have to change this because now there is no problem here. You have to change this to be a modifier. You have to change this to be a modifier or to be dependent clause. Let's find. 5 is wrong. Can we say after then comma? No, why comma? Why comma? It's going to be directly after several high-profile cases. So now this is a prepositional phrase. He was in the same problem. It's going to be two independent clauses. Number 6. The beginning. This notoriety prompted the young man to run for a legislative seat in the House of Commons. He won in 1844. Again, two independent clauses, connected by a comma. It's run on. Okay, here Commons, then comma, won. No. If we are going to connect two of them together, the two verbs, it must be and one only. Okay, if we put semicolon which, it's wrong also because comma which, not semicolon. So the answer is going to be D. He changed the other one to be a relative clause. Number 7. Just like John, this is a prepositional phrase. The country was struggling to make a mark on the word independent. In 1877, prepositional phrase, Mark MacDonald was awarded the position of Premier of the United Province of Canada. This independent, again, there is a problem here. To independent with the comma alone is wrong. Okay, we have full stop here. Can it work? Yes, it can work. Comma, it will not work. Number 8, however, at this point, Canada was far from being united, independent, much less a real province. Wait, mister. Much less a real province. Okay, here it's not a complete sentence. This is a kind of phrase. This is a kind of phrase. So it worked. It worked. An essential phrase. Why you're gonna say comma and much less? It's not real. I'm sorry. It's not a full sentence. Semicolon, the same thing. Semicolon, comma and the same thing. Comma though much less, the same thing. So it worked with A. Number 9. The efforts of the King of England to populate the country was a dismal failure. Okay, there's a sentence, independent. The people in the West had no interest at all in joining what politicians were calling Canada. So start from the people, it's another sentence. Here, nothing, connect both of them. So run on, or we call it comma splice. Can we choose B to put full stop? Yeah, it worked. Can we put semicolon conjunction? No, it will not work. Can we put only comma? It will be run-on sentence. Number 10. He developed the Canadian Pacific Railway and created the Northwest Mounted Police. Okay, independent. Convincing British Columbia, Manitoba, and Prince Edward Island to join the Confederation. Wait, there's a modifier. So it must be preceded by a semicolon. It's wrong. It must be preceded by a semicolon. If we're gonna say, okay, can we keep it like this? Yes, but the problem, who is convincing? Who is convincing? He. So we can't leave it without any comma. You have to put comma. Can we say he convinced? It's gonna be run on. So it's better to make it as a prepositional phrase. Number 11. Even at the age of 60, this prepositional phrase, MacDonald didn't slow down one bit. In 1885, prepositional phrase, he engineered the first national park in Alberta. Again, teacher, we have two independent clauses, connect only by a comma. Connected only by a comma, so run on. Do you have anything to put? You can put full stop, semicolon, comma, conjunction. So the only one that has semicolon is this one. There's also run on, and this we don't have semicolon plus the conjunction. Number 12. Believing, modifier, believing that he could attract the attention of tourists to Canada, we need now, after the comma, the one that is believing that. The one that is believing that. If you're gonna put so, comma, fanboys, it's wrong. What about Canada? Then comma, he, yes. Believing is he. It can. Can put semicolon is gonna be also a problem. It's like comma conjunction. Comma and, the same thing, like comma so, semicolon, comma and, the same problem. 13. He was given the honor of knighthood for his dedication to crown and country. Okay, this is independent. People today still travel on McDonald Carter Highway every day. Another independent. To independent by comma alone, it's wrong. So what are we gonna do? Can we put with people? The same problem. Comma, fanboys, comma so, it can work. Full stop and people, it can work. So we have to decide if there is a cause and effect relationship to choose so, or we're gonna put full stop. He was given the honor of knighthood for his dedication, crown and country. People today still travel. No, it's not cause and effect. So the answer is D. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Quickly about the fragment. As we know, that any sentence or any clause in English, it must have a subject and a verb, and also it must give me a complete meaning. Floating on the river, where is the subject and verb? Nothing. Nothing. So this is fragment. Let's look at this one. People who have a sense of entitlement and feel absolutely no sympathy. Till now, I don't have the verb. For those less fortunate, even when they take advantage of their services. Where is the verb of people? Where is the verb of people? So this is also fragment. Now he make it right. Make me sick. He brought the verb. Okay. Take care. If we have a subordinate clause or dependent clause or relative clause alone without independent, it's fragment like this. Because my broken heart, which you have left hardly beating in my chest, is the reason for my endless suffering. Because my broken heart is the reason for my endless suffering, and which you have left hardly beating in my chest, both of them is dependent. Where is the independent to understand it? Where is the independent? So it's wrong. Now he said what? My broken heart, which you have left hardly beating in my chest, is the reason for my endless suffering. Now he changed. My broken heart is the reason for my endless suffering. Independent, which you have left, is the dependent or relative clause. Another one, Russell Brand, the English comedian, take care, this is a positive noun phrase, being one of the funniest celebrities alive. Where is the verb? Where is the verb? Being is not a verb. Now we change it. Russell Brand, the English comedian, is one of the funniest celebrities alive. After that, if we have gerund phrase without subject and verb, here he said, there is no absolute way to fix a sentence. No. Okay, forget about this. Okay, now he wants from you to turn the following sentence fragment into complete sentences. And this your own way. This your own way. This your own way. The only thing I want to make this fragment to be a complete sentence. This is gonna be homework, guys. It's gonna be page 13. Let me write it. Page 13 till page 16. About the fragment. Easy rule.
Could you please repeat, Mr. Tamer?
You're gonna answer from page 13 till page 16 about fragment.
And when is it due?
As soon as possible. If it's gonna be tomorrow, it's gonna be better.
Alright.
We know that we have a session for basics tomorrow, also morning. Okay?
At 10:30, right?
Yes, inshallah.
So,
Okay. Goodbye.
bye.